I got replaced by AI, so now it's time to live off the land. $12,000, a truck, a trailer, and a riding lawnmower, that's all we've got. No big equipment until we can actually afford it. Every episode, we're building towards a self-sufficient life. So if you want to follow the journey, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and enjoy the ride. Well, it's a pretty nice July morning here in Kentucky, and we're going to cut our new grass area with our new mower that we bought yesterday. Or not our new grass area, but yeah, this area we cleared out, and today's really going to be about preparing for the future. So far, we've been surviving since we lost our job and were replaced by AI, but we're not really planning, and that's going to change today. So this area here, we're going to turn into a field, and we're going to plant some wheat. Been doing some research and was looking into possibly getting chickens this year, but we don't have any way to feed them. And I just feel like if we bought feed, we might as well just buy eggs. So it's going to be about a year-long process here. We're going to want to turn this into a field, and I think we're going to have to wait probably till middle of August here to get the wheat in the ground. But we can prep the land for sure. And while we're prepping it, make a little bit more money off of hay, and obviously a little bit more money off of these logs that we're going to be taking in to make money off of. The big thing that's missing still is a harvester, so we'll be looking into that very soon. The soybeans are so close. It's going to be closer to fall still, but they're looking very good out there. Pretty lopsided load here. But yeah, yesterday we did get this whole path cut, and now I started in the inside there, but then these trees were just kind of in the way for my vision of what I want this field to be, so figured we'd sell some wood here first and then come back and finish cutting that. And I don't expect a huge dollar amount here. We'd also need to check on the water on the greenhouse and the goods there to see if we need more seed and fertilizer to get more lettuce and tomatoes to grow. But yeah, we'll do one thing at a time here. Let's go ahead and see how much money we make today off of this about 3 trees that we cut down, smaller trees. Let them know we're here. Yeah, $1,500. That's not bad for the first little bit of money we made today. We have $25,000, so to save money and make sure we're not gonna go broke, we're gonna hold on to $12,000 of that. So we have a little bit of a budget, and we need to make this budget larger so that we have the ability to buy that harvester. So I'll be looking on the used market and making sure that we don't miss an opportunity. If one pops up, we're absolutely gonna jump right on it. But the rest of today is really going to be focused on finishing cutting this grass, and I probably can leave the truck out of the way now. We'll just put it right here. And once we get this whole area cut, we'll get the tedder back out, start working on that, and get a little bit more hay going. We will be probably commissioning someone to take care of our stumps for us, though I really wish we could do it ourselves. It would be so much cheaper. So that's going to eat into our budget. And that's unfortunate, but we just don't have the equipment to do it, and I don't think it would be wise to leave the stumps in the ground. I guess I could try to shave it down with the chainsaw, but I don't think we'll get it low enough to not damage any equipment. Like right now, we're probably doing a little extra damage on our mower here, on the blades, the teeth. But yeah, let's get focused. Let's get this whole area cleaned up, and that should allow us to make a little bit more cash off of hay and then start prepping the land for an actual crop to go in the ground. All right, I think I got everything that I want to cut for this cell done. So now it's time to swap out to the tedder and back at it again. I think we'll do this first area here, and then we'll do the path. I did cut that this morning. The path that leads to the soybean field, which we do need to get some fertilizer down on today. And I'll have to walk through with the push fertilizer spreader. Hopefully we don't damage too many crops doing that. Haven't thought about that, but we'll get her done here. And it looks like we found the extra gear to go 11 miles an hour. Lovely. So it shouldn't take too long at all to get this grass flipped up, and then while we let it dry, we'll take care of the fertilizer on the soybean field. Alright, I think we got this first area done, so now we have this little path that I've created behind the barn as well that's gonna link us up to the other field. So yeah, nice little area right here. Kind of letting the rest of it kind of grow naturally because I think it looks nice. So, but we'll head down to the field this way, and we should be able to just come back, you know, up and down a couple times, get it done. Really looking forward to flipping that dirt and making a new field out there. Gosh, this one's looking pretty. Look at that. Could definitely tell we did something good. All right, with all the tedding done, I think we will jump in here and make our way over to the soybean field. This thing is full. I think we have enough fertilizer, and really hoping to, you know, I'm being careful with money right now. So, I mean, we could get some liquid fertilizer for the sprayer that we have, but we've already bought this fertilizer, so I want to use it. And I haven't really found a spreader in town that works with the Farmall, so gonna kind of be stuck with this for now, but I think it'll be okay. Gonna be harder to tell where I've been today, but we'll give it our best shot. All right, I think it is. Yeah, got a little bit of, oh yeah. Oh, that's not good to breathe. Probably need to get a mask on here, but yeah, we'll get this done. And then, doesn't seem to be damaging anything, so seems like we're getting lucky there. But happy to be out here for a little bit, guys. I'll see you later. All right, we're all done with this. Just gonna head on in. I think the biggest thing that I've learned about farming compared to software development so far is patience. It takes time to see the results of what you're working on, where software, you get like this instant gratification. So we're gonna, you know, the patience is getting there to where I'm seeing the long-term benefits here. I mean, we're already doubled our money and spent a ton. And it's July, and we started this process in April. So really excited to see how we finish this year financially and see if we can start maybe tackling our debts as well, to where that $12,000 isn't as important. Yeah, just thinking through a lot of things while I'm running up and down that field. But I think we're going to go treat ourselves to a lunch in town. There's this area where a lot of the farmers do hang out. Usually they're there for breakfast, but going to take a chance to see, maybe there's one or two of them hanging out and pick their brains about these stumps and, you know, possibly about other things that we could do around here to make some more money. All right, that's good there. Let's go ahead and jump in the truck. I think I will drop the trailer here, though, leaving the yard a mess as we leave here. Yeah, gonna head on in, have a good lunch here, and I'll see you guys afterwards. And heading back home, it's nice to get to know some of these old farmers in town and learn a little bit. Apparently, our property used to be a cattle farm, and all the farmers in town have been taking notice of the progress we've been making and are super excited to see that old property turn back into an actual farm is what we're tracking towards. And well, this community's a little tight out here. They offered to take care of the stumps for me. You know, always the possibility to return the favor later, you know, a different favor. Obviously, we don't have a stump grinder, but just amazing. And they were, you know, kind of reminiscing about the old farm and how it'd be amazing to see it turn back into a cattle farm again. So kind of keeping that in mind. I still think we'll go with chickens because we do want the eggs for feed. I don't know if we'll go like large scale operation to make money off of eggs. Maybe just sell a little bit here or there. It's also nice to just drive through the country here and see what everyone's doing. We got sunflowers here. Looks like we got some sorghum over there. Yeah, just a beautiful drive home. Well, playtime is over. Time to get back to work. Get all this road up. And I think, you know, they should be here at some point later today to take care of those stumps for us. Where do I want to start? I think we'll go ahead and start right here and just kind of pull the grass back over. I just saw another tree that we're pulling there. I think we'll go ahead and loop around the entire outside here. Should make it a little easier to bale later on and avoid these trees. And it looks like I probably don't want the field to come that close to the trees. The possibility of damaging our implements by running into them. But this should be a decent sized field to get our first wheat growing. So we'll have to row this up and then row up the paths as well, and then we should be able to bale it and make a little bit more money today. All right, I think I got things pretty well sorted out here to get started with the baling. Just gonna put the rake back here, attached, and then we're gonna swing on over to the baler and get going with that. It's not gonna be as impressive as the money we made yesterday, but at this point, every dollar is gonna help, and away we go. Now, it seems like this thing just takes a little bit of time to get up to speed, and then we start cranking it, really. Let's go ahead and just cruise on into this pass here. Yeah, what a nice piece of machinery here, this New Holland. Beautiful width on the swaths. It'll have to be completely clean for us to be able to pick them up. Already spitting out some bales. Love it. And I think this will be a decent size. I can't tell if it's bigger or smaller than the soybean field, but you know, for our first attempt at wheat, I think it'll be pretty good. So we'll be tearing up the ground once we get done with this process and get the bales out of the way. All right, well, this proved to be a little more challenging than just cutting the path for me. So I, you know, missed a lot of areas. So we're just trying to cruise back around and get the spots that we missed now. So I have to do the path to the soybean field. But yeah, pulling that bale, I didn't really want to do that. Hope it doesn't get clogged. There's another one. Come on, get loose for me. All right, we're gonna have to move that. These bales are light, so oh, that's scary. All right, let's get back on. And I think that was the only real big one that we missed, but we got this spot here. So a decent amount of bales out here. Again, not as much money as last time, but it was better than just cultivating this up and not making any cash from it. Yeah, and we were worried about the horsepower on the tractor, and it seems like only uphill ever struggles. So for the equipment we have, I think it's fine. It makes me somewhat tempted to find a seeder that we could risk being able to pull. I just feel like that would be a waste of money or too risky of a purchase. But we did pull this swath pretty well together to where it should just be one pass down here, and then once we turn around we have some stuff in the front yard to bale up as well. But after that we'll get it sold, and then we'll get to cultivating, getting some tillage done. You know, not the... Gosh, this is great. Good view back there with no cab blocking. Kind of realized I could see that well in cab view here. Yeah, but I'm not good. All right, we are heading in to make a little bit of cash. Oh, can't miss that bale. Oh my goodness. No one behind us. Okay, let's get this bale on here. Get that strapped in as well. Good thing we saw it. You know, 25,000 now. Hoping to see this at least around maybe 30,000, but I don't think it'll be that high. All right, it's just slowly so we don't lose the bales before they get sold. And we're at 30. Wow. That was an awesome surprise. Now we get to do some tillage. All right, so there's some terrain right there that I'm kind of concerned about, not, you know, wanting to be part of the field. So I think I'm gonna sneak over here. Let's go ahead and lower this. Yeah, about right here is where I want to start. Yeah, and then we can blend in this way and then just kind of follow the path of where we've cut today. There we go. Make a little outline. You know, it feels bigger. I think this might be bigger than the soybean field, which now makes me a little concerned, but you know, we did totally like skipping over a big part here. The farmer did pop by. He swung by, got rid of the stumps for us. Was super excited to see this area that we're turning into a field, and you know, recommended that I keep cutting trees down and keep expanding because we're not going to make a ton of money off of this. It'll be a good start for feed for chickens, but he doesn't think that we'll get much of a return on our investment right away. But if we keep expanding the field, make it a little bit bigger each time around, seems like a good plan. So get a little focused here and let's get this done. I am already noticing that the terrain change in this area is causing the tractor to struggle a little bit more as we climb uphill. So we'll get by with this equipment as long as we can, but a bigger tractor would be so nice. You're right around here, you start seeing us slowing down. And then we get through it a little bit. Seems very typical. We're climbing uphill, so it's gonna have to use a little bit more power. All right, that's another field, but I do want to blend this corner here that looks a little terrible. If we just come like this and just naturally blend it a little bit better. Yeah, I think that'll... Yeah, that's much better. All right, let's put this away. We're gonna get the push fertilizer spreader out and get some fertilizer on the ground, because I know we can't plant for probably another maybe 2 months. I'll have to... Oh, we've got a mess in there. I'll have to figure out exactly the timing for that. How do we jump over here? Yeah, but once it's the right time of year to get the wheat in the ground, we'll definitely be doing that right away. But I figured we'll get the soil in a little bit better condition before that time comes. And should be able to just, you know, run around here. We can see it's getting darker in the spots that we're covering. So it should be really easy to know what we've done. Well, finally done here, and it seems like it used a little bit less than the other field did. So I think that means it's a little bit smaller. But boy, oh boy, it's been a long day here on the farm. I think it's time to get some rest, and I'll see you next time.